An employment tribunal hearing has caused widespread concern about free speech after it backed the decision by US think tank, the Centre for Global Development, to sack a female researcher for tweeting that male people are not women. Maya Forstater lost her job back in March and took her former employer to the Employment Tribunal, arguing that they had discriminated against her deeply held belief that there are only two sexes. But the tribunal found her views are incompatible with the human rights of transgender people and I quote, not worthy of respect in a democratic society. Kate, you have a greater insight in this issue than anyone. How do you see this decision?
Well, Rita, I also sent you a photograph of the person concerned.
We'll show that tweet shortly, yes.
Yeah, about whom she was refusing to use female pronouns. And I was just gobsmacked, to be honest. I read Holly Lawford's Smith's op-ed this morning and found myself broadly in agreement with it. My quibble with Holly is that Holly would refuse to use female pronouns in addressing me, and I think that's just small-minded when it is clear that I've taken extraordinary steps to function as a female. I make no claim to womanhood, but I think courtesy and social interaction means, I am a natural ally, so why try to humiliate me? Do you have to be that extreme? Yeah. But the broad point she made about this tribunal finding was correct. It was abhorrent. It also echoes very eerily and concerningly that the tribunal said that they considered that the woman concerned, her views were bona fide and genuinely held. Now, that is the language that will be relied on when people defend their religious freedom in the new year, if this religious freedom bill ever gets through the parliament. A bona fide belief in, say, that marriage is between a man and a woman, or that there are two sexes, if that is a person's deep, genuine religious conviction, if that is held to be inconsistent with the dignity of the person complaining by what will be a state tribunal, we're going to find this situation occurring in Australia. So I've got all kinds of concerns about this, and when I found from a friend, by the way, a trans friend, who was horrified at the decision, saw the identity of the person concerned, it beggars belief. We've gone beyond parody when you see the person about whom she refused to use the term she.
Put the image of the person up if we've got that Toby Young tweet. We don't have it, I don't think. Anyway, we will get it up. But, here we go. So you can see this is the person who was misgendered. There she is. I don't want to call him. Don't call her a him.
At her fetching best.
That's it. So to have a woman sacked for misgendering, I mean, I'm serious. Even I'm trying not to say what I'm thinking because I don't want the same fate of this poor woman. And I've got to say, J.K. Rowling, the best-selling author of the Harry Potter books, now she's a big lefty, always tweeting. She's got herself into all sorts of trouble because she tweeted this. Have a look at her tweet. She said, dress however you please, call yourself whatever you like, sleep with any consenting adult who'll have you, live your best life in peace and security, but force women out of their jobs for stating that sex is real. I stand with Maya. And for that, Rowling has been condemned as a hateful bigot and a transphobe. And let's look at this article from Vox on J.K. Rowling. They said, did J.K. Rowling just destroy the legacy of Harry Potter with a single transphobic tweet? And the article states that J.K. Rowling's latest tweet seems like transphobic BS. Her fans are heartbroken. She just ruined Harry Potter. I mean, come on. And another high-profile woman who's come under attack is former Olympic swimmer Sharon Davies, who's also backed Maya online. Sophie, it really is quite, at times, an ugly debate because if you just state something that is fairly sensible, mainstream, supported by most people, you can be condemned as a bigot and the attacks against you can be quite vicious.
Well, isn't this going back to the very basic human right of freedom of speech, that we should be allowed to say what we think? We often don't because we're worried about this backlash.
Yeah.
And putting it, on Twitter is certainly opening a lot of issues because you result in people just giving you swipes from every angle. So J.K. Rowling will, pay the price for this, really. I think it will hurt some of her fans who have stuck with her for a while.
Well, I don't feel as sorry for her as I otherwise would, just because she panders to this online rage mob continuously. She's always tweeting this leftist nonsense, and when the same mob you've been feeding come for you, I don't think you should be that surprised. But I hope we hear more about this case, because it's fairly sinister that you've got an employment tribunal saying that what this woman said and her beliefs are not worthy of respect in a democratic society.